Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we are talking about game number 5, also known as the day where the Winnipeg Jets lose the series 4-1 against the Colorado Avalanche at home in front of all the Winnipegians, the Winnipeggers, I don't know what the hell they're called there, but all those sad fans on apparently what's called Donald Street are all sad and upset because this team, after scoring a quick, well, I guess it was an own goal, whatever you want to call it, but they score a goal, stay competitive through this one, go back and forth, scoring 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, and then the Avs just ran away with it, and they can kiss their playoff hopes goodbye as they head to the golf courses in Winnipeg, which I'm guessing are pretty bad, because Winnipeg doesn't really rub me as a golf course kind of place. So, this team, the end of this series, is not a surprise to me. And everyone's online is probably going to start acting, the spitting chicklets they're going to do probably would be like, I'm surprised, because you'll probably hear Biz will just go like, the Avs, they found the next level, or something like that. And it's like, no. I mean, yes, but no. Like, that's not what happened. It's not the Avs rose above the Jets. The issue is the Jets, as I said in the video, just like 1 week before the playoffs started, were frauds. And I said that because this team is the same team. It's a Toronto Maple Leaf situation where, where this team is built for the regular season, especially when it comes to the defensive aspects of the game, because this team is not, okay, this team in the regular season was the #1 team for goals against. They said it all over the broadcast, right, and they were making a point of that, where this team, they're supposed to be really good defensively, but now they've let up 5 goals in their first 5 games. It's never happened before, whatever that record was that you'll see on Instagram, all the pages putting up. And it's just that it's not a surprise, because I'm going to skip down here to this part of the board, but the Winnipeg Jets, they are a very stingy, they're a very not systematic. They are a very, the best way to put it as a hockey player is stay-at-home defensemen. They're the guys that aren't going to do too much crazily. Like, sure, guys like Morrissey are pretty skilled. They can make some nice moves, nice plays, nice passes to make some good assists, right? But other than that, with Nate Schmidt and Pionk and Dylan and DeMello out there, what this team is built for, what this defense is, are these stay-at-home defensemen that are staying in the middle of the ice. They're going to take up that middle lane to not allow those cross-ice passes, don't allow those big plays to happen, right? And that is amazing for the regular season, where the regular season got 82 games, where every game doesn't matter too much, and when you play against a team like the Chicago Blackhawks that are unskilled, that is going to dominate them, especially when you have a guy like Connor Hellebuck, who is a solid goaltender in net. But the issue is when it comes to the playoffs and you have a team that is willing to fight for their lives, and not just fight for their lives, but truly play a well-systematic, amazingly oppressive system like the Avalanche, this team is going to fall apart. Because when you're just like a solid, you know, like, it'd be like if you're playing rock, paper, scissors, right? The entire season. 82 games, let's say it's just like 82 rounds of rock, paper, scissors. What the Jets are is that they're a team that is just like, you know what, we're going to play scissors every time. That means you have a 50-50 chance no matter what happens every game. You are playing scissors and you might win, you might lose, and most likely you'll win half of the games, which is a pretty good thing in today's NHL, is to win just half your games. And this team is pretty good that they win a couple more than that, right? The Avalanche, though, are a team that are going, you know what? We're going to read your play, and we're going to adjust. We're going to try to figure you out, and that is what they did. And they figured out, oh, this team plays scissors. We're just going to keep playing rock, and then that's what happened. The Avalanche are an amazing team who has an incredible offense, which, by the way, not just an incredible offense, but an offense for the playoffs that shows up. Guys like Nichushkin, guys like McKinnon, guys like Rantanen are the guys that you worry about that kind of evaporate. But truly, guys like Nichushkin, McKinnon, Lehkonen, Cale Makar especially, these guys, they show up and they're fighting, right? They're getting to the dirty areas. They're willing to get physical. McKinnon's willing to put his jets on, go down the ice, have a guy try to nudge him off the puck, but his legs are so strong that he can just stay on his feet, keep going down the ice, get that shot on net for a rebound where a guy like Lehkonen can just bat it in, or Nichushkin, right? McCarr, same deal, right? Same thing. All these guys willing to go to the net, get those pucks in, play a little bit physical to go down the ice, and especially the forecheck in this series for the Avalanche. They were just all over the bland, predictable, not too fast moving, just pretty conservative play of the Jets. And the issue with the Jets is that they weren't conservative enough, because they weren't either, they didn't lean in one direction or the other, right? They weren't too defensive, and they tried to be offensive against a team that is going to obliterate them in the offensive game and are going to forecheck like hell. Like, they know this going into this. And then the issues is the Avalanche had the emergence of Casey Middlestat being a solid second-line centerman. Guys like Zach Parise really owning that this is his last ride. Guys like Ross Colton being a solid third-line guy. Like, just the depth was showing up for the Avalanche. The forecheck was going. The defense was fine. Georgiev, though. Georgiev was the inconsistency that does worry me that I'll talk about at the end of this video. But he was inconsistent, but for the most part, he was better than he was bad. And just all of it is wrapped up in a nice bow where game after game, 4 games in a row for the Avalanche, where they were able to just go down the ice, storm the other team, and just slaughter them, right? They annihilated them. They overwhelmed the Jets over and over and over again. Every single game of this series, it was the same story. That they just, every period, every shift was like the same play where the Jets just couldn't handle the speed and the pressure that the Avs would put on them. Because, once again, it's the same thing. They're a simple game, right? They're a one-note team. And as we've seen, who is surprised? I'm not surprised. Because this is the same series that happened a year ago when they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights. It's the same story where this team goes into playoffs. They win game 1 where they upset this team that's above them in the playoffs. Well, I guess the Jets aren't anyways, but they upset a really good team, and they play a good game, and everyone lights the world on fire, and then they lost 4 in a row. And it shouldn't be a surprise, because for one, Hellebuck was never he was never Swayman. He was never, but yes, just Connor Hellebuck, he just has never been, he in the playoffs, right? And I've always been one of the guys where I'm not one to say Hellebuck is overrated, right? I'm never going to be one of those guys. Hellebuck is a amazing goalie, but I think he's one of those regular season goalies where he's a very smart, because when you get those like highlight reels, right, of Bobrovsky making the incredibly hellish save, Swayman somehow getting his splits going, making this crazy save as well, Vasilevsky making these robberies, right? You see these guys being clutch. I think the issue is you never see Connor Hellebuck in those. You know, you see Marc-Andre Fleury because he's willing to be like the guy who goes like, holy crap, and make that big save, you know? You never see Connor Hellebuck in those clips, right? You never see him being the guy over and over again, being the guy who's going to save his team, right? He's just a smart goalie where he's always going to be just like, oh, got it. Yeah, I saved them all, right? He's never that guy who's like, oh no, like you never see him in those clips, and you just never see those clutch game-saving saves that you need from your goaltender, right? Especially when your defense is playing poor like this, because we saw with the Panthers last year, where the defense wasn't that incredible, but Bobrovsky, with the help of clutch offense, was just able to keep going and going in the playoffs, and it worked. This team, the Jets, the offense, guys like Mark Scheifele, sure, are willing to put their neck out there and fight hard and crash into the net and get the dirty areas behind the net, make the plays happen. Like, you know, they're the ones like looking for those plays. Sure, Kyle Connor was a little bit more aggressive this series, but not enough to make the true difference. And it's all help, and it doesn't help that the Avs had good goaltending from Georgiev most of the time. The defense of Devon Taves and McCarr and Manson and Girard and Johnson isn't the worst defense in the world by any means. Then they have to worry about the onslaught of the pressure of guys like McKinnon being on the ice most of the game. Well, not most of the game, but you know what I mean. Just being out there, and then guys like Parise, a pretty good two-way guy at this point, Colton, Miles Wood. Like, you just over and over again that the Jets just had nothing to match any of the play of the Avalanche, right? And it's just over and over again. And for me, it's the same thing. It's the Jets are a very bland, simple team that are going to win 40 games of the season, and then not be able to do anything in the playoffs. And then they're going to do what they did this year and last year over and over again. And it makes you wonder to a point where a team like this, or a guy like Connor Hellebuck's going to go, fuck this team, I'm out of here, I want to go to the Devils. Give a team like them who have true offense and defense that have shown they can be good in the playoffs, go there and give them my services, right? It makes you wonder when things are going to crack for a guy like Mark Scheifele, where he's a pro. I think he's 30 at this point, and he's going to go, I've wasted all of my career here. I'm not winning here. I want to win and leave Winnipeg. A guy like Kyle Connor, who is still young enough to go, like, I'm a goal scorer in the league. I want to go and score goals, and he finally goes, you know? And it's just stuff like over and over and over again with that, and it's just... It makes you wonder, but it also makes you wonder, and it really makes me wonder, and I'm not some naysayer of the Avalanche by any means, but it does make me wonder, is that the Jets have proven 2 years in a row now, and once again, and they shouldn't be they shouldn't be a joke if the Maple Leafs are a joke, where they're good in the regular season, and then when the offseason hits, they do the same thing. It makes you wonder if the Avalanche, they looked really good in this series. They looked dominant in every game. Even game 1, they lost 7-6. It's not like they weren't in it. They went this series scoring so many goals and shutting down the Jets that it makes me wonder, were they lucky against the Jets? Were they lucky that they get a team that just absolutely just doesn't show up in the playoffs, who isn't playoffs built, and they do have good offense and defense and goaltending enough to at least get them over a team that just always just underwhelms in the playoffs? Like, it makes you wonder, were they lucky? Or are they truly in their form? Do they truly have that second-line centerman that they've been looking for in Casey Middlestat? Do they truly have the depth with Parise and Gross Colton and Miles Wood down the lineup where they actually can have rolling lines and keep the pressure going? It makes you wonder if guys like Nichushkin are going to keep up 7 goals throughout during a series, right? If Trennan's going to be a solid guy to keep going, right? Manson can score some goals. Makar and McKinnon are going to keep going no matter what. But Rantanen finally showed up in this game, right? Rantanen has, I think in the last year too, he was really underwhelming. I felt like he was kind of he was getting points on the board, but he kind of evaporates in the playoffs. So I don't know. He really needs to start showing up. Maybe with these 2 goals this game, he will going forward. But right now, it makes me wonder. They win 4-1 against the team that also lost 4-1 last year, where they have a fine regular season with a good goaltender, same stats and everything, and then they just give up. Do the Avalanche actually have a good chance to win the Stanley Cup? I don't know. But what I do know is that the Jets are frauds, and they're out of the playoffs, and the Avalanche are going to move on, and I really worry where after a series between the Knights and the Stars, where those 2 teams look like they're really going through a war, if they can actually win. If they can beat one of those 2 teams. I don't know. So that is all I got to say. So for right now, I'm going to make a video about the Jets, talking about what they should do going forward, what's going to happen with them. And for the Avalanche, I will discuss them moving forward when they find out who they're playing against. So until then, about these 2 teams, that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, please, I'm begging you, please subscribe. Please, I'm so close to 500. It would mean the world to me if you did. And if you did, tell me you're number 499. I will shout you out. How about that? And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.